Okay, welcome to this deep dive into the territory mapping process where we're mapping territories on demand but based on a standard geographic area such as a postcode or a suburb. This particular map is focused on the Sydney area. You can see a base map there with place names, roads, rivers and so on. And the areas in grey on the map indicate areas of low population, so it's to focus the mapping on the city areas. The next layer that we've got on the map, and I know it looks a bit busy, but this is really an internal map designed for planning territories. We can of course create other versions of the map that are simpler to view, but this is really where we do our work of assessing areas and assigning suburbs to territories. So the colours on the map indicate the status, territory status and the suburb status. Areas in orange are sold, areas in yellow are reserved, and the clear areas are available. So this is just a hypothetical example. If we click on one of these suburbs, we can see a demographic profile. So suburb Auburn, New South Wales has a population of 39,333. It's assigned to a territory called Auburn and the status is sold. And here is the demographic profile for that suburb only. So the total number of households, the median age, the number of people aged 15 to 49, and this is just provided as an example. Typically, you should be able to choose any age range or number of males, number of females in a particular age range. The number of people earning over 104,000 a year, and the number of people earning over 130,000 a year. These correspond to categories that are recorded in the census. And two additional variables there. One is the median personal income, 30,241, and the annual household income, which is also a median. Both of those are annual values of 79,000. So that's the median for the entire suburb, all the residents in that suburb. When we're talking about income, a median measure is preferred to an average because the data is not normally distributed, and very high and very low values can tend to skew the data if you use an average. So that's why typically a median value is used. Now this map has an additional layer which are highlighting low income areas, which may or may not be useful for your particular purpose. These could either be areas that the territories are made larger, or maybe we don't map in those areas initially, but it's just a visual guide to help us to identify, especially in cities that we're not familiar with, where the lower income areas are, to help us in our territory planning. So let's have a look at assessing an area for a potential territory. Let's say we've got somebody who's inquired about a particular area. We're focused on Manly here in eastern Sydney, out by the coast. And you can see a number of suburbs there. Those numbers in red indicate the total population for that suburb. And let's say in this example, we're aiming to create a territory with 50,000 people in it. We can sort of visually do a quick bit of maths here to get the total, or it'll be quicker to use a tool here to summarize those suburbs together. Okay, so there are 11 suburbs selected there. If we generate a report, we can see that we've ended up with 69,000 population. So we'd probably drop some of these top suburbs here, these three at the top, will probably bring us down a bit. Now, if we're happy with that and we want to put a territory together that we can present to somebody, the process is to click on a suburb and assign it to a territory. So we're going to call this one Manly. And we'll just keep it as, well, let's make it reserved for now. Okay, we just repeat that process for all the suburbs that make up that new territory. Okay, so once we've finished assigning those suburbs to a territory, we can see them all in yellow there. We just need to double check the population count, and we can do that by running the query tool again, choosing manually from the list. Before we selected interactively, but here we're just going to choose it from this drop down, get results and generate report to get the total. So we're a shade under 50,000 there. We might add one more territory here just to get to our minimum number. We can also view a listing of those suburbs that make up that territory. We can download that as a CSV if that's something we're going to share with somebody, so that they can see which suburbs are included and what the individual demographic profile for those suburbs is. And once we're ready to share that, we can click the print tool here, and that's going to put us on a layout page. We can position the territory so that it's centered on the page, and we can print a PDF and email that to somebody that we're talking to. One of the other uses for the map is that we can quickly check whether an area is available, has a territory existing, or can be sold. And with national maps, it can take time to zoom in manually, so it's useful to do an address search. So for example, if we want to know what's going on in Penrith, see if anything's available, click on the map there. Okay, so the status is shown as available. There's the suburb of Penrith. Now this could be a map that's accessible or made accessible to your prospects and candidates. It could be sent out as a link via email that they can view interactively, or it could be embedded on a website for them to explore. It doesn't have to be a static output like the PDF I showed you before. So it can be really used as an engagement tool to allow people to do their own homework and to really get interested in an area. Okay, and so that's just a quick introduction to mapping territories on demand by standard geographies such as zip codes and suburbs.